Well?
Well, what?
What happened? Don't just stand there. Tell me all about it.
About what?
So you won't talk, eh? Well, we got ways of making you yak, see?
Okay, I'll sing. But first, let me get comfortable. Now, what is it you wanted to know?
About what happened in court. The trial, the verdict.
Oh, that. We, the jury, 12 good men and true, carefully weighed all the evidence.
Yes?
And we reached a verdict.
What was it?
It was unanimous.
Dad, if I die of curiosity, I'll come back and haunt you.
Okay, baby. We found Manza guilty, and the judge gave him 10 years.
Wasn't it exciting? You being the foreman of the jury and standing up there in court and giving the verdict. You know what I mean. Weren't you thrilled?
Not exactly thrilled, but I was proud to be on that jury. We did the public a real service putting that gangster out of circulation.
That's Freddie. What could he want?
Well, what do you think? It's almost dinner time. Fine thing. I get rid of Butch Manza, public enemy number 2, and what do I come home to? Public idiot number 1. I'll be in my bed.
Hi.
I came over as soon as I heard the news. Is everything all right?
Of course.
Can't be too careful. No use letting them know we're here.
Freddie, what are you talking about?
Your dad, is he home? Is he all right?
He's home and he's all right. Are you all right?
Me? Well, certainly they're not after me.
Now, let's start at the beginning, Freddie. Who isn't after whom?
Didn't he tell you about this?
Gang leader convicted. Manzer gets 10 years. Mobster swears vengeance on jury. When jury foreman Vernon Albright announced the verdict, Manzer leaped to his feet. "My boys will get you for this," he shouted at Albright. Oh, this is awful.
That's why I'm here.
He didn't tell me one word about it. Dad? Dad?
Yes?
You come in here this instant. The belligerent gangster was finally silenced, but not until he had hurled vicious threats at juror...
Good evening, Mr. Albright.
If it hadn't been for Freddie, I probably wouldn't have found out about this until I was an orphan.
Good old Freddie. I don't know how I could get along without you, but it would certainly be a pleasure.
Gee, thanks, Mr. Albright. Anything I can do to help?
Yes, Freddie, there is. Good night.
Now stop it. This is serious. How could you? Death staring you in the face, and you wouldn't even tell your own daughter.
Oh, fiddle-faddle.
And you don't have to swear about it. Why did you try to keep it from me?
Because I knew you'd act just the way you're acting, making a mountain out of a molehill. Now listen, honey, there's nothing to be worried about. This is just a case of a crackpot crook flipping his lid, a routine act. Judges and juries are always being threatened. Now let's forget about it.
Huh? The only father I've got. His life hanging by a thread, and he asked me to forget about it.
Mr. Albright, I think she's right.
Well, if you think she's right, she has to be wrong. Now, I don't want to hear any more about it.
You're not putting one foot out of this apartment unless you have a bodyguard.
Bodyguard? Don't be ridiculous.
Don't... Please, Mr. Albright, don't answer it. Don't let them know you're home. I'll handle this. Hello, please. Who you want talking to? Oh, Sir Sally, nobody home. Nobody home, Mr. Honeywell.
Give me that phone. Hello, Mr. Honeywell. Huh? No, this is not the psychopathic ward. This is still the Albright residence. You had a bad connection. Sidney R. Maple? Yes, I've heard of him. Yes. He just inherited millions, didn't he?
Albright, he's got more millions than I have worries. That's how rich he is. Now, get this. He just got in town, and he's toying with the idea of making some investments.
Sounds good. At the plaza? Sure, just leave him to me.
I'm afraid it won't be that simple. He's an odd one, timid, afraid of his shadow, afraid of losing a buck. You'll have to handle him carefully, but if anybody can handle him, you're the man.
Right. I'll take him to the club tonight. Goodbye. I'm sorry, honey, business deal. You'll have to eat alone. Oh, I don't suppose you could persuade Freddie to share our humble fare?
Oh, but you're wrong, Mr. Albright. I wouldn't mind at all.
Where do you think you're going?
Oh, Margie, be reasonable. I can't let this thing interfere with business.
Oh, please, Dad. I don't care how much you expect to make from this business deal, it won't buy me a new father.
I'm glad you feel that way about me, honey, but you're getting yourself worked up over nothing. I've got to get dressed and over to the hotel.
And get bumped off by those gangsters.
Oh, Margie, for heaven's sake.
Mr. Albright, I think she has a point.
So's your head.
So you're going out tonight?
Yep.
Well, I hope you make a lot of money on this deal.
Now you're being sensible.
You'd better make plenty because you're going to need it.
What do you mean?
Just this. If you leave this house tonight, you'll have a son-in-law to support.
Margie, you wouldn't, you couldn't. Do you mean...
That's right, Freddie.
Marry that jellyhead, that all-American drawback? You wouldn't do that to your own father.
You take one step out of this house and dum-dum-da-dum, dum-dum-da-dum.
You win.
Oh, it's for your own good, Dad, believe me.
Oh, Margie, I'm kind of sleepy. I think I'll turn in now.
Don't you want any dinner?
I'm not hungry. Good night.
Boy, you certainly know how to handle him. How did you do it?
I have a secret weapon. Let's see what we can rustle up for dinner.
Mr. Maple, don't tell me that a vigorous, astute businessman like you is content to sit back and simply clip coupons.
Well, I suppose it is a little on the cautious side, but on the other hand, excuse me, a new vitamin.
Have you ever considered that it is practically your duty to put these idle dollars to work, both for yourself and others?
Well, naturally, I've thought about it, but there's one thing that always stops me. Do you feel a draft? I must be careful. Oh, yes, the thing that stops me from investing. I might lose.
It's our department to see that you don't.
I suppose so, but I'm still afraid. You know something?
What?
I'm a coward.
No.
Yes. Not only in money matters, but I'm a physical coward, too.
I don't believe it.
Do you know what my secret vice is? I go to prize fights. I like prize fighters. I admire them.
Why?
Because they're so different from me. So brave, so physical. I'd give half my fortune if I could be aggressive. If I could walk right up to a man and knock him out.
Have you ever tried it?
Heavens, no.
Well, try it sometime. You might be agreeably surprised. The basic psychology behind it is similar to financial investment.
Really?
Yes, indeed. Now, you be at my office the first thing tomorrow morning, and we'll go into the details.
Radio didn't wake him up, did it?
I just peeked in. He was sleeping like a baby.
Hey, Margie, these are good. Have one.
You're so subtle, Freddie. Come on, let's get some more.
Wait a minute, Margie. Might as well take the whole box. Well, after all, if I'm going to sit up here all night...
Oh, I don't know, Freddie. Dad might not like it.
Margie, somebody's got to protect him. You don't know how these gangsters operate. They're always breaking in places and kidnapping people. Margie, someone's on your service porch.
You think it's... I'll call the police.
No time. Besides, this will give me a chance to get in good with your father. Turn off the light.
prosperity is upon us. So invest in the best and ride its crest. What do you think of that?
Excuse me. What was the question?
Now, as I was saying, Albright will be here any moment, and we'll go over it together.
I like Mr. Albright. He's so polished, so gentlemanly.
Glad to see you, Mr. Maple.
Mr. Albright?
Albright, what's the meaning of this?
What?
That. What did you do? Stick your head in a cement mixer?
Oh, this. No, just a slight little misunderstanding.
Now, Albright, tell the truth. One of the Manzer gang caught up with you, didn't he?
Yes, that's it. But you're not quite right. It wasn't just one gangster that attacked me. There were 4 of them.
Good heavens. I read about the trial. You were foreman of the jury. Aren't you at all frightened?
No, they won't try any more rough stuff on me. At least not until I get out of the hospital.
You fought them all, knocked them out?
Oh, there are only 4 of them.
Albright, you surprised me.
Life is full of little surprises. I found that out last night. Now, Mr. Maple, I hope you're coming around to our way of thinking about those lazy dollars of yours. Yes, sir, a tidal wave of prosperity is upon us. Invest in the best and ride its crest. What do you think of that?
Excuse me. Oh, I didn't realize it was so late. I have an appointment with the doctor. Gentlemen, I'm interested in your proposition, and I want to hear more about it just as soon as possible.
Well, suppose the 3 of us get together at my apartment this afternoon at 4 and discuss the matter. Combine a little business with pleasure.
And later, we'll show you the town.
I'd like that. At your apartment? With those gangsters lurking around? Well, wouldn't that be dangerous?
Oh, there's nothing to worry about, believe me. I took care of that.
Well, just to be on the safe side, I'd better arm myself.
Well, if you feel better about it, Mr. Maple.
Do you mind? Amazing.
All right, I think that did it. We'll sign him tonight.
Thanks to me.
But you hear, my boy, no more of these heroics. You can't clean up the Manzer gang single-handed. You better get yourself a bodyguard.
Now you're talking like my daughter.
I'm serious. If you don't care anything about yourself, think of her. You know how these gangsters are. They might get back at you through Margie, even kidnap her.
I never thought of that.
You can't be too careful with thugs like that. Now, I've got to go over to the bank. I'll see you later.
Get me the Haskell Detective Agency.
Murder, divorce, and general snooping, we handle them all. Haskell speaking. Yes, Mr. Albright. Mm-hmm. I don't blame you. That's a tough outfit.
And Haskell, it might be better not to let my daughter know she was being guarded. It would just upset her.
She'll never even suspect. I always carry out my assignments with the greatest delicacy. Pardon me, miss. That your purse?
Well, yes.
That A wouldn't stand for Albright, would it?
Uh-huh. Why?
You are Margie Albright.
I know it.
Your father home?
Yes. Well, I mean, no. He's a long way from here. What do you want to know for?
Want just have a little business with him? What does he look like?
Well, he's tall. No, I mean, he's short and kind of fat and has dark hair. Really not much to look at.
Thanks for the info.
Hello, Freddie. There's a gangster down in the lobby after Dad. We've got to do something. Oh, gee, thanks, Freddie. I knew I could depend on you. And hurry. Hello, this is Margie. Is my father in? He isn't? Oh, well, is Mr. Honeywell in? Thanks. Mr. Honeywell, where's Dad?
He's at the barber shop getting that eye work done.
Well, tell Dad to be careful. There's a real gangster looking for him in the lobby right now.
What? About 6 feet, uh-huh. Typical gangster, uh-huh. Gunman type. You sit tight and leave everything to me.
Yes, sir?
Get me Mr. Brandt in the district attorney's office and hurry.
Hello?
Hello, John. What? No, this is more important than golf.
Well, that description fits one of Manzer's toughest gunmen, Soapy Walters. We're looking for him. Well, I'll do better than that. I'll have a look-see myself. Bye.
Come on in, fellas. Meet Margie. Margie, this is Gerald. He's unemployed as a truck driver. And this is Humphrey. He's just unemployed.
Thanks for coming over, boys.
Well, here we are.
Yes, but there's one small catch to it. You know how stubborn Dad is. He probably won't like the idea, so how... I've got it. Mrs. Odette's is away, and I've got the key to her apartment. Come on. This is our observation post. We can see the elevator and anybody who goes to our apartment. And Dad will never know what we're doing.
We'll give them a real good going over, and then we'll toss them out on their ears. Toss them out? Nothing doing. We're going to capture them. There's probably a big reward for these crooks. I'll show your dad I can make good.
I suppose you're going someplace, too.
Well, yes, the 10th floor.
Ah, what's your business on the 10th floor? This is my business. Assistant District Attorney. Mr. Brandt. Sorry, I didn't know. I'm working on the Albright case.
Well, so am I.
Say, you haven't seen a thug hanging around, have you? Man about your height. Typical plug ugly. Slouch hat. Cigar in his face. No? Nobody like that around here. I'd have nabbed him.
Say, don't suppose he slipped by me. I'll look upstairs.
Not be so crude this time. I'll handle this one. You looking for someone?
Why, yes, Mr. Albright.
Oh, he just moved. I'll show you.
Thank you.
Okay, boys.
I'll mix us a cocktail while we're waiting for Maple.
I gotta hand it to you, all right. This is one deal you really handled.
We'll split the reward money 4 ways.
But don't you think we'd better tie him up?
Good idea. We'll get some rope. You two fellas keep an eye on the hall.
Hey, another one. Hey, he's got a gun. We'll have to play this cagey.
Excuse me, sir. Could I trouble you for a match?
Yes, I have a lighter. Oh, what's the idea?
Okay, Humphrey, I got his gat. Now get in there with the rest of your pals, rat.
I'll do it.
Help! Help! Help!
You look like Mr. Maple.
It was Maple.
Open his door. For the last time, I'm telling you, open this door.
That's Dad.
Oh, good. Why, Mr. Albright?
Will you tell me what this is all about?
I don't know what it's about, but I know one thing, Albright. You're fired.
But, Mr. Honeywell, you don't understand. We did this to protect Dad from these gangsters. You owe all this to Freddie.
It wasn't anything much.
Oh, it wasn't, huh? This gangster is Mr. Haskell of the Haskell Detective Agency, whom I hired.
And this gentleman is a friend of mine from the district attorney's office.
And here lies the reason that I was fired. Mr. Sidney R. Maple, multimillionaire.
Who could have been our firm's most lucrative client.
You mean he's your big business deal? The one that was so important?
None other.
Oh, dear. He'll probably be upset over this little mistake.
Ha! Upset, she says.
And I was just beginning to like him. He was such a timid little fellow with a secret ambition to be aggressive. He said he'd give half of all his money if he just had the courage to walk up to a man and knock him out.
He really said that?
He did. And this is what he got. And now, if you'll excuse me for a second, I'll step outside and shoot myself.
Well, now, wait a minute, Dad. I've got an idea. Freddie, get some cold water. Come here. I want you two to play dead, right alongside the others. Hurry up. Now, remember, you're both knocked out.
What happened?
You're a hero.
I am?
Well, don't you remember? You saved my life.
I hit a man, didn't I?
One man? How modest can you be? Single-handedly, you knocked out the whole Manzer gang. You were a tiger.
I was? Funny, I don't recall. Everything seemed to go black. Maybe I saw red.
You were blind with rage.
Meet the new Sidney R. Maple. Mr. Albright, your advice about socking someone paid off. And I'm going to take your advice in other things, too. From now on, you handle all my money affairs.
Albright, you're rehired.
Think of it, me knocking out this whole gang.
You missed one.
Celebrate through the town, Sid.
What are we waiting for?
All right, meet us at the club later, after you explain to the district attorney all about this little mistake. Come on.
And just one favor, Margie. Next time, let the gangsters get me.
Well, everything turned out all right, didn't it? You got your deal
And the usual number of bumps and bruises. Now, listen, honey, if I wasn't so proud of you right now,
Proud? What do you mean?
Well, it isn't every father who has a cosmopolitan cover girl in the family.
Dad, that's me.
Yes, and you wait till you read the wonderful story about us inside.
Oh, let me see.
Oh, no. You go down to the newsstand and get your own copy. Yes, sir. That's my little Margie.